Hello, amiibros. This is Jason of Shocks, and welcome to my small little pile of PlayStation 1 stuff. My games, my one lone memory card, and my one lone controller. So if you're familiar with my collection videos, you would say like, hey, where's your console, Jason? Where's your PlayStation 1? The thing is, I do not own a PlayStation 1. I have played these games, but they've been on my PS2 or on my PS3. So, yeah. This is probably the first and, well, probably not the last time you'll be seeing my games, but not a console. Yeah. So, my PlayStation 1 collection, it's full of, like, games that I'm nostalgic for. So, I'm kind of a bit nostalgic. But in total, I have 31 games in this collection. I would say some of them don't even work. But anyway, so now, let's start. And now, let's begin. So, for my PlayStation 1 games, I'm just going to be going through them in whatever order I decided. Basically, a random order. And any games that are part of a series, I will put every representative of that series and say my thoughts accordingly. So, let's start. So, the first game that I have is a game that I am nostalgic for. Be prepared for me to say that a lot. And that is Rampage World Tour. And this game was so nostalgic to me. Me and my brother used to play this so much. We would just go around and co-op. He would always pick the wolf, and because I always wanted the wolf as well, I would just go for George. But in all seriousness, aside from my nostalgic thoughts, this game was pretty fun. It's basically like the original arcade game, pretty much. I mean, I've never played the game in the arcade. Actually, I have played it in the arcades, and it's basically that. It's just the sound effects are a bit different, but it's the exact same game in the arcades. Alright, next is Q*bert. So what I can remember, what I can gather from like a lot of games that came out during the PS1 was that there were a lot of attempts to bring games from like the 70s and the 80s into the PS1. Some worked and some didn't. This I would say works really well. Because it's just a Q*bert gameplay, you know, going up cubes, avoiding snakes and balls, and just changing every cube to your color. And with this game, it works. It even has the original on the original arcade version from the 80s on here, and I'd say it's really fun. I'd actually consider doing a let's play on both of these games. All right, next is SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge, a game that I'm not nostalgic for because I didn't grow up with SpongeBob until much later. But this game, it's okay. It's an okay game. It's not bad by any means. I wish it was a bit better, but it's okay. It's an okay game. All right, next is Missile Command, a game that I actually had as a kid, but I never played for some reason. I think I remember playing Missile Command in the arcades maybe a few times, but I can't remember. I'm trying to remember how the game even was, but for some reason I can't remember. Alright, next is a recent acquisition, A Bug's Life. Now, this game was actually pretty fun. It's a 3D platformer that takes the plot of the movie, so obviously you're Flick, and you're just going around these levels, going through the movie, going through A Bug's Life, well, the plot, and just get a load of those graphics. That's 1998 for you. So, yeah, it's just a 3D platform based on A Bug's Life. It's pretty fun, though. Alright, next is Gran Turismo. Now, I don't have Gran Turismo 2, but, okay. I've tried getting into this game. I just can't. Controls are too stiff for my liking. I really only got this because of, like, the dual case that it was in. And then, you know, I like that. I like the dual cases. And be prepared, because you're going to be seeing a few of these, on my, in this collection. But, Gran Turismo, it's fun to play for, like, 10 minutes. It's just I can't see myself seriously getting into it. Maybe with the later ones I can, but just not with those ones. They're just too stiff for my liking, control-wise. Alright, next is some more nostalgic games. Namco Museum Volume 1 and Namco Museum Volume 3. Now the original Namco Museum, the Volume 1, this takes me back. This was such a great compilation of Namco arcade games because, they're the ones that come in here. and it just introduced me to a whole bunch of Namco games. I mean, who hasn't played Pac-Man in the arcades? But I love Rally X. Oh no, I love New Rally X. That's definitely one of my favorite Namco arcade games. I mean, I know people will say like, oh no, 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 no. Pole position by Scony and Galaga are better than Rally X. Well, that's your opinion. And then Volume 3, here's the stuff that comes in Volume 3. Bit of interesting little little selection, because you got Fozon and Tower of Draga, which I've never heard of. And they're pretty interesting little games. Then obviously you got Miss Pac-Man, and my voice cracked, Galaxian, and Dig Dug. Obviously some other Namco classics, and some sort of obscure stuff, like Fozon and Draga. But these are some great some great little compilations of Namco arcade games. I wish Volume 2, 4, and 5 weren't so expensive though. Alright, next is Siphon Filter 2. Another game in a dual case, so that was why I bought it. I mean, I kind of, I know one of my subscribers, Henry Gonzalez, loves this series. Like, I don't know if I would say to death, but I can see why people really like this series. It's basically Splinter Cell before Splinter Cell. It's tactic shooter without the squad. Because you're Gabe Logan, you're just going around these levels, stopping something. Oh, was it a virus, the Siphon Filter virus. And what's it? I've tried getting into this game, like 5 missions in, and maybe if I play it more, I would like it more. But I'm not good at tactic shooters, so I just kind of like trialed and errored my way through the game. Maybe on future playthroughs I'll like it more, but right now I think it's just an okay game. Sorry, Henry. Next is Frogger, another game that I'm nostalgic for. He's back, Frogger. And this game also kind of seems like it wouldn't work for Frogger. I mean, some of it kind of does because you fall off platforms for some stupid reason. And I like that they had different settings for Frogger, like to just go boink, 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 around. And yeah, it's Frogger with 3D graphics. If you like Frogger, you will probably like that game. Alright, next is Motocross Mania 2. A motocross racing game. And I don't have the first one for some reason. But, yeah, I remember, like, popping this in just to crash. just to crash. And I never really paid attention to the actual game. Now, as an adult, I'll probably look back and actually view it as an actual game and sort of more like a crash test. But, that was fun. Alright, next is my original copy of Namco Museum Volume 1. But, it's missing the manual, it's shot, and this disc is destroyed. Look at that. Next game. Next is another copy of Gran Turismo. This one's a replacement for my other one, because I think that one's kind of scratched. Alright, next is Pac-Man World without the manual. And this is actually my original copy of Pac-Man World. And I'll get to my thoughts on Pac-Man World in a bit whenever I get to my replacement copy. So yeah, this is my my childhood copy of Pac-Man World. So it's destroyed. And yeah, if you want to see my thoughts on Pac-Man World, I have a Let's Play of this game on my channel. I'll put a link in the description below. Alright, next is The Bombing Islands, which is a puzzle game where you're this little clown. If I could take the disc out. You're this clown right here named Kid Clown. So you just go around these little islands, putting bombs into patterns. You light a bomb, the red bomb, and then all the other bombs explode, and then the islands explode around you. You have to do this for the King Clown, because there's some declaration like, oh god, there's so many bombs everywhere. Destroy them, Kid Clown. Make them all explode. And it's a fun fun puzzle game, and it actually gets pretty challenging kind of early on. I need to get a replacement copy, because this is also my childhood copy, but it's scratched. I mean, it works, but the music glitches, like, messes up. I mean, no, the music skips, that's why. Dun, 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 like that. All right, and then my second pile is my childhood copy of Missile Command. I think this one doesn't work, so that's why I have that other one. I'll test it. There goes my voice cracking again. I'll test Missile Command after I'm done with this video. Alright, next is Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. A game that I remember liking as a child, but not getting far at all. Thing is, this copy is also destroyed. Are you surprised yet? Yeah, I love these games to death. Even though I didn't get far in Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. I need to get obviously I need to get a new copy of that game. Yeah, you surprised about the amount of broken games I have? I mean, I kept them because they're my original copies. Alright, next is Tomb Raider 2 and Tomb Raider 3. Okay, so the Tomb Raider games, these are pretty fun games. I mean, they're kind of dated because the controls just... No. The tank controls they're just not my cup of tea. But I think maybe if I play these games more, I will probably get accustomed to them more. I don't know. But from what I played, they're not bad. I would definitely prefer the other, like the more modern Tomb Raider games, like Tomb Raider Legend. That one's pretty good. And the reboot series. Or the reboot trilogy. Alright, next is Asteroids without a manual. Are you surprised about the games that don't have manuals? Alright, so Asteroids is I don't know. I never played this game, but it does have the original arcade version from, what, the 70s on here. And I don't know if this original copy that I have works. Again, I'll test it after I'm done with this video. Alright, next is, oh boy, Spyro the Dragon. I'd say my favorite PlayStation 1 game. That and probably my last one. But Spyro the Dragon, oh my god. This game brings so much nostalgia to me. I love this game. I still have yet to beat it. I mean, I'm almost done with it. But, and surprisingly, this is actually one of my only childhood copies that still works. Music still glitches, yeah. This game just brings out so much nostalgia to me. And the fact that the Reignited trilogy now exists, I could probably enjoy Spyro in a better light because I don't have the sequels, so I can try out the sequels in the future. So yeah. Alright, next is a bunch of loose discs that I have in this case. So I have another copy of Frogger. I got Road Rash, and then I got my original copy of Motocross Mania 2. And ATV Quad Power Racing. These games I'm pretty sure don't work, but these two definitely don't work. So, boo-hoo. Our next is Chrono Cross, a game that I want to get into. Now I don't have a lot of PS1 RPGs. I mean, I have this and I have some other game coming up. Chrono Cross is... I don't know, I haven't played it yet. It says it's a sequel to Chrono Trigger. And again, it's one of those games that I got because... Come on. There we go. Has multiple... Because it's on multiple discs and... The dual case. I like the dual cases. They're very interesting. I want to get into Chrono Cross because I've heard that's actually a really good RPG. I don't know how long it is, but because, you know, RPGs are long. But I hope it's not a long one. Alright, next is Crash Bandicoot 3. Warped! Okay, I can't speak. I probably butchered that, but Crash Bandicoot 3. Again, also, I never grew up with Crash, so having played the Insane trilogy a few months ago, and like, wow. How have I never played Crash Bandicoot in his games? Because I played the Insane trilogy and I loved it. So I bought Crash 3 at a flea market. And they're basically, obviously, they're going to be the same. But I definitely prefer the Insane Trilogy Crash 3 more than this. I mean, I know people are going to be wrong about that. But, yeah, Crash 3 is still a great game from what I played. Alright, next is Metal Gear Solid. Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid. I mean, how can you not love Metal Gear Solid? You got Snake just going into this, like, snowy base. And wherever this takes place, I don't know, but it's Metal Gear Solid. I don't need to explain anything about Metal Gear Solid. You know, this game is good. It's on 2 discs. That's how you could tell you have a high quality game. Too bad the series is kind of dead now. Thanks, Metal Gear Survive. But yeah, I mean, this game just speaks for itself. I don't need to explain how amazing Metal Gear Solid is. I mean, I want to start it soon because I love Metal Gear Solid 2 and 5, but I want to start with let's go for the original at some point. Alright, next is Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy IX. Alright, Final Fantasy 8 and 9, I really don't have much to say on 8. I think 8 is a good game. I like 9 better, but 8 is good. I put about, I think, 10 hours into Final Fantasy 8, to be honest. And then Final Fantasy 9 is a game I seriously want to get back into because I love Final Fantasy 9 from what I played. Because, I don't know, I like the characters in Final Fantasy 9, and I like the setting more. It's more epic than Final Fantasy 8 because Final Fantasy 8 is just a school setting. It's just like, man, you get to school, get your buttocks to school, come on. And you're just doing stuff for the school. But 9, you're part of this kingdom, and you're just getting a princess back and back to her kingdom. And I don't know, these games are amazing. They're amazing because they're on 4 discs, that's for sure. And well, not really because they're on 4 discs, but I think you get why Final Fantasy is so important to a lot of people. I mean, I want to get Final Fantasy 7 at some point in the future, but I will settle for now for Final Fantasy 8 and 9. I definitely prefer 9 over 8, but amazing game, excellent game Final Fantasy 9 is. Now I sound like Yoda. Final Fantasy 9, great game it is. Alright, and then the last PlayStation 1 game that I have is Pac-Man World, which is a game that I mentioned earlier. And this is my, obviously my, I guess, refurbished copy. Because look at this. Pristine. And even had this little Namco, was insert in a Channel Your Energy and these other great titles. But while I look through this, I will explain some thoughts about Pac-Man World. So Pac-Man World is a 3D platformer celebrating Pac-Man's 20th anniversary. So obviously you're Pac-Man, but the thing is, everyone has been captured by the evil Talkman. So you gotta go get them. So yeah, let me just put this back, and I will show you the back. Yeah, see, I don't know if you could read that, but there you go. So you get like all this interesting stuff, like new to the Pac-Man world. Haha, no. But yeah, like I said, this game is also a game that brings so much nostalgia to me. That's definitely a hidden gem on the PS1. Alright, so that is my entire PlayStation 1 collection. Pretty unimpressive overall, but I have some standout titles, like I said, like Metal Gear Solid, Crash, Final Fantasy, Spyro, wherever it is. Well, wherever Spyro is. Oh, it's right there. So yeah, that is it. So thank you all for watching the video, and please comment, like, and subscribe. And next video is going to be my DS collection. Either my DS collection, my Game Boy collection, or my Switch collection. So shock the world and us amiibros. Goodbye!